Why is everyone so fixated on Caitlin Clark and Taylor Swift? We've got all the bad blood right here. See what I did there? It's a song by tape. Never mind. There's drama in Chi-Town, and Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter are front and center. I mean, did you really expect anyone else? The two made some interestingly timed, cryptic statements on social media that, while not directed at each other, totally looked like they were directed at each other. Now they'll never admit this. That's why the statements were cryptic, but WNBA fans put the pieces together real fast. And if you drink the Kool-Aid on this one, it is ULY. Not only does this drama make the Chicago Sky look like a train wreck, it produced one of the biggest burns against Angel Reese I've ever seen a tactical nuke with laser precision. In fact, if the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese rivalry narrative wasn't already laughable, this was the nail in the coffin. It's over. Take your ball and go home. I'm going to get into who said what, who kicked off the drama, and what it means for Angel Kennedy in the Sky. Spoiler alert. It's not good, or at least it wasn't in 2024. Get ready for some low blows. But first, subscribe if you think Angel started it, like if you think Kennedy did. So here's a little context before I get into the dirt. Picture this: you're the star player on your team, leading the charge with an impressive 17.5 points per game. This is a veteran team sending a message. Carter drills it, knocks it down, a little shoulder shake, and a +1 coming gets to her spot. She loves that pre-own line area. The key area. You're feeling pretty good about your future, right? Well, not if you're Kennedy Carter in a move that left a lot of fans scratching their heads. The Chicago Sky decided to part ways with their top scorer, not even offering her a qualifying contract. Sounds crazy, right? And it is under normal circumstances. But it goes without saying that Kennedy's journey in the WNBA has been turbulent. Like flying through an F5 turbulent after a suspension with the Atlanta Dream, in 2021 for conduct detrimental to the team, she was traded to the Los Angeles Sparks. Her performance dipped, averaging only 8.9 points in 24 games. The Sparks eventually released her. Then she didn't play in the WNBA for a year. Some time away apparently did her some good, or it was enough time for people to forget the past. And the Chicago Sky signed her for the 2024 season. Her 17.5 points per game, with the Sky put her in the top 15 scorers in the WNBA last season, on par with stars like Kelsey Plum and Brittany Griner especially. When you consider she played fewer average minutes lead here for Washington, Carter quickly down the floor lays it up, and in count the bucket she's going to get one more at the line. Well, now you can see what Chicago has done, but Kennedy wasn't done. She played in China in the off-season and absolutely dominated. She's averaging an insane 30-plus points per game, playing for the Wuhan Women's Basketball Club, Music. And get this, her Chinese team praised her positive attitude, giving her the 2024 Outstanding Contribution Award. Yes, this left fans scratching their heads. And yes, this does sound like the kind of made-up award you'd give your 5-year-old for doing their chores all week. Gold star for you, Kennedy. But it was good P and seemed to indicate that she was on the right track with her China award in hand and proven scoring prowess. It seemed obvious she'd be resigned by the Sky. Well, apparently not what went wrong in Chicago. That's the million-dollar question. And the Sky silence on the matter is deafening. The team's management is keeping their lips sealed tighter than a pickle jar, but their actions speak volumes. Jeff Pagoa, the Sky's GM, offered a carefully worded statement. Kennedy had an incredible season for us last year. However, we've made changes to our staff, and we'll make changes to our roster. Those changes impact Kennedy's fit on the team. So we wanted to give her the best opportunity as a free agent. Reading between the lines, though, it's clear that Carter's once-he-caught brilliance didn't outweigh whatever was going on behind the scenes. You don't just drop a top-producing player you could have gotten for a song, unless the baggage that comes with them is too heavy, which begs the question, just how bad were things in the Sky locker room? Well, if these tweets are what many fans think they are, we just got a courtside seat to the show. Just hours after Carter's exit, Angel Reese dropped a cryptic social media post. What's understood don't need to be explained. Reese cryptically posted on X, leaving fans and analysts alike scratching their heads. Was this a direct shot at Kennedy, or just a random, insightful post about something totally unrelated to her teammate being let go? Either way, with fans already buzzing about Kennedy getting cut, it was like dropping a match in a powder keg of speculation. Now, if you're familiar with Angel Reese, you know she's no stranger to controversy, especially when it comes to social media. Yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too. And I want y'all to realize that. Remember that infamous hand-waving incident during the 2023 National Championship game? The one where she got up in Caitlin Clark's face, which basically started the rivalry, which is now on life support after what I'm about to share. Yeah, this felt eerily similar. Reese has a knack for making waves, and this cryptic message was no exception. The timing of Angel Post was just too perfect to be a coincidence. I mean, come on, hours after Kennedy's departure, her history of controversial social media posts only added fuel to the fire. She's built a reputation as someone who's not afraid to speak her mind, even if it means ruffling a few feathers. What's one piece of advice you wish you had received when you were starting your career? I'd rather be like rich than famous. In fact, some media narratives have even labeled her as a villain in women's basketball. Like, I'll take that role, I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down to history, I'll look back, whether that's fair or not, is up for debate. But one thing's for sure, Reese knows how to get people talking, including Kennedy. Get ready, because this is where things get spicy. So in the world of professional sports, sometimes the most devastating blows are delivered not on the court, but through the subtle art of social media. Warfare just hours after Angel Reese dropped her cryptic message, Kennedy Carter unleashed a response so unexpectedly precise and cutting, it left the basketball world reeling. I think the ability to consistently make layups just puts anyone in a different tier. So important to score easy, she posted on X Carter's seemingly innocent observation about basketball fundamentals packed more punch than anyone anticipated to the casual fan. This might have seemed like a harmless comment, but for those in the know, this looked like a surgical strike aimed directly at Angel Reese's biggest weakness. They play some beautiful basketball again. No Breanna Stewart today. Chicago's missed 7 straight shot off all screens, so she's not getting any easy look. Reese short trust, Allen just blew by Burke, but couldn't get the floater to go. Angel Reese shoot. Then another ex-user replied with a graphic showing layup, field goal percentages. Kennedy was among the best, and you guessed it, Angel Reese was the worst. Like, embarrassingly bad. Just look at the number of attempts, which, by the way, makes one think about her offensive rebounds, just saying, now layups are indeed the most basic shot in basketball for a professional player to struggle with. Layups is like a chef burning toast. It's a fundamental skill that should be second nature. Carter's insight, which fans interpreted as a dig at Angel, highlighted a glaring issue in Reese's game that had been largely overlooked amidst the glaze over her double-double records. But wait, there's more. Then Kennedy followed up with this banger in an Instagram story. She wrote, "Not everyone deserves your loyalty." Oh, now she may have been talking about the sky, but it sure sounds like she was referring to someone or some people who, perhaps, I don't know, were the reasons behind her exit from the sky when Carter realized she might have started a wildfire with her posts. She tried to backpedal, saying, "I just focus on me, that was literally about me and how special of a craft it is. I want to believe you, Kennedy, I really do. But in the age of social media, once you drop a truth bomb like that with impeccable timing, there's no putting the shrapnel back in. Fans weren't buying the innocent act." One savvy observer pointed out, even if this isn't a shot at anyone, it seems like it is. We all know who is synonymous with missed layups, until proven otherwise in 2025. And that's the thing for all the talk about her rivalry with Caitlin Clark and the media fawning over her double-doubles. I mean, just look at how they lump her records with Caitlin Clark's. There are some huge gaps in Angel's game. Get a load of these numbers last season. Her field goal percentage of 39.1% was far below the league average of around 43%. What's worse, Reese, standing tall at 6 feet 3 inches only, made 42.4% of her layups. That's not just below average, it's the worst in the entire WNBA for players. Her size, the league average for layup conversion is about 55%, meaning Reese is missing opportunities that should be easy points. Despite these struggles, Reese still managed a respectable 13.6 points per game. But when you look at her overall shooting stats, it's clear there's room for improvement. Her three-point shooting sits at a meager 18.8%, while her free throw percentage of 73.6% is just barely above the league average. I don't know if it's Shah bad, maybe she can ask him on her podcast. Rebounding has clearly been her forte, but is that enough to justify a rivalry with Caitlin Clark in her rookie season? Caitlin Clark put up jaw-dropping stats: 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and a league-leading 8.4 assists per game. Her shooting efficiency was equally impressive, hitting 41.4% from the field and 32.9% from beyond the arc. These aren't just good numbers, they're seasoned veteran stats. She set a single-season assist record. Rookie points record was a first team. All-Star W Rookie of the Year and was fourth in MVP voting. And don't get me started with the AP Female Athlete of the Year and Time Athlete of the Year awards the same. Just can't be said for Angel. Comparing the two players is like comparing a high school science fair project to Elon catching a rocket falling from space. Both involve science, but the scale and impact are worlds apart. And now is when I get to use the media's logic against them to explain what started this online exchange. The media have made such a stink about the attention Caitlin Clark gets and how it negatively impacted the team. Everyone around her, including her ex-coach Christy Sides, were all doing their best to manage it. Okay, using that talking point, what kind of impact would the media buzz surrounding Angel have on the Sky, especially a certain teammate who soundly outperformed her but didn't get signed well? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Check this out, the Chicago Sky locker room apparently reached soap opera levels, making their on-court action look tame in comparison, according to a report by Amy Costa of the Sun-Times. Former coach Teresa Weatherspoon, instead of being the team's unifying force, became the catalyst for chaos by catering to one or two players. One of those players speculated to be Angel Reese. This preferential treatment didn't just create minor tensions, it shattered team dynamics and turned the locker room into a pressure cooker of resentment. Weatherspoon's favoritism manifested in various ways. She reportedly catered the team's game plan to pad Angel's stats, which left other players feeling undervalued and unmotivated. The impact on team chemistry was profound, like trying to play a symphony with half the orchestra. Out of tune, the consequences of this favoritism spilled onto the court players. Lost respect for Weatherspoon faster than a rookie loses confidence after an airball team discipline crumbled and the Sky cohesion disappeared. Into thin air in her exit interview with her new team, the Connecticut Sun former Sky player Marina Mars' praise for the Sun seemed to highlight a sharp contrast with the discipline issues that have troubled the Sky. There's a level of discipline and a level of professionality here where, the players just have to worry about playing basketball. A lot of things don't get down to the players, and I think that's really good. I also feel like, obviously the players here are very experienced and they want to keep a good environment, and they make sure that they kind of hold people accountable for that. While Weatherspoon played favourites with Reese, another player, Kennedy Carter, became the team's black sheep. Despite her scoring prowess, Carter's OFC court behaviour caused more drama than a reality TV show reunion. Multiple players expressed concerns about Carter to team management, painting a picture of a locker room divided and dysfunctional. The Sky decision not to resign, Carter wasn't just about her once-he court performance or social media antics. It was a clear message the drama had to go. At this point, assigning blame becomes as tricky as guarding Steph Curry on the perimeter. Was it Weatherspoon's favoritism that set the stage, Carter's disruptive behavior that added fuel to the fire, or management's slow response that allowed the situation to simmer until it boiled over? The truth likely involves a combination of all these factors, creating a perfect storm of team dysfunction. This internal strife isn't just bad for team morale, it's a potential disaster for the Sky 4 future. The public airing of the Sky Locker Room drama has created a toxic atmosphere that could repel potential free agents in the WNBA, where team chemistry is crucial. This negative publicity is a major setback. Star players looking for a new team are likely to steer clear of a franchise, making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Losing Carter, who averaged 17.5 points per game, is a significant blow for the second lowest scoring team in the league. GM Jeff Pagoa tried to spin it positively, hinting at a strategic shift away from Carter's isolation-heavy style. But here's the real challenge. Rebuilding a team is like trying to renovate a house while it's on fire. You're not just fixing the structure, you're also trying to convince people it's still a great place to live. Perhaps we should rename the Sky the Great Chicago Fire. It kind of fits perfectly now. It's not impossible for the Sky to overcome this other teams have, but they're racing against time in an increasingly competitive WNBA landscape. One thing's for sure, things weren't pretty in Chi-Town in 2024 with a new coach who hopefully fosters a merit-based culture. Morale will hopefully improve, and the Sky will return to being a playoff-caliber team without the cryptic social media drama. If you're still here, drop a basketball emoji in the comments to prove it, so I can say thank you personally. See you next time.